Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to show you how I built this server rack, or I suppose you'd probably call this a server shelf instead. Um, and really what it's housing is I've got a desktop computer there, a laptop, and there's a couple cameras on top of it. A couple switches, a few firewalls, a couple access points, a few more switches behind there, and then a laptop on top. Now, there's probably better ways that you could approach this whole thing, but to be honest, I've had this for probably about 2 years now, and it's worked really well for me. I really like how everything's just easily accessible. I can pull things out as I need to. Nothing's really screwed in, and that's the whole. To me, there's value in that because I'm making cabling changes a lot. And let's take a look also in the back here. So what I did on every single shelf here. On every shelf, I make a little notch here, just on this, on each one. And it's nice because you can kind of feed some of your wiring through there. It is still a huge mess of wires, as you can see from my setup, but it does help kind of keep it to the side a little bit, so that when you're looking at it from the side, yeah, you see a couple wires on the left and the right, but it really doesn't look too bad when you're looking at it from the perspective of somebody that's standing up, right? If you really bend down, you can really see a huge mess here. But when you're standing up, it really doesn't look too bad. Just a little messy. Now I'll add the full dimensions in just a bit here, but just to give you guys an idea, I set this up so that the inside of the rack is 18 inches, right? So, generally the standard server rack width would be 19 inches, but I made it 18, and the reason why is I really don't have anything that's 19 inches here. Even these switches are, what's that, about 13 inches, and then this, PC at the bottom, this is just over 14 inches, right? So, I didn't really have a need to make it really wide. You might be able to adjust things a little bit on your side, but this is kind of the approach that I took. Now, I'll just show you a little bit about how I set things up, how I screwed things in, right? I wanted to avoid having any screws on the sides here. So I was able to do that by just drilling in some pocket screws, right? So I've got three on each side of each shelf. A couple more things to mention with regards to how I decided to size it with width and depth here was I wanted to make sure that I had a little bit of extra width for these, pretty much the switches in the PC here, just to make sure that I've got a couple inches here, got a couple inches here. I have a bit of space in the back too. I made sure that I'm not directly against the wall, just to make sure I do the best that I can to make sure that airflow is okay. Now, additionally, with a setup like this, there ends up being a lot of these power bricks. So what I did is I'll show a screenshot in just a second, but you can see in the back here, I took a couple of these plastic boxes. You can see one on that shelf and then one on this other shelf. I took a couple of those, and that's where all of my power bricks are located.
Yeah, and here's an example of a cable management box that I got from Amazon. All right, so if I recall, I got a sanded piece of aspen plywood. I believe that it was a 3/4 inch, and then I just bought one panel, which is 4x8. And here's the exact dimensions, right? So we have, the depth is 18 inches, and then the left and right large panels are 48 inches, and then each shelf is really just going to be 18 by 18. And except for the very top one, which is 19.5 inches. And if you wanted to get a rough idea as to what the spacing is, this is where you can see the individual spacing between the shelves here. So I didn't add any stain, but I did give it a good sand, and I put a couple coats of polyurethane on it.
All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and we'll see you in the next one.